Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with a bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G16518. 2,500 down with proof credit.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Life is busy and life is loud. How can you get above the noise? Join former Nebraska cheerleader Ashlee Mitchell as she tells you about her experiences in front of the loudest crowds in college athletics and how she rose above the noise. This is Above the Noise on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Ashlee Mitchell.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to Above the Noise with Ashlee Mitchell. I'm your host, Ashlee Mitchell. And yeah, I'm excited for today. This is one of my first couple solo shows. And Harrison's going to be here with me, just kind of chatting back and forth probably a little bit.
Well, how many shows you got under your belt now? Because you've been doing this for...
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I'm
not going to call you like a veteran, but you know what you're doing at this point.
I feel better about, talking to like other people.
Yes.
Now I feel like just talking to like an empty room though. Sometimes I feel a little bit like I'm in 12th or in 8th grade, just like blogging to myself. Have you ever done that? I used to do that. Oh my gosh.
I used to try I was not vlogging. I used to do the dream journal. Because at one point in time, I thought that meant something. If you ever fell down that rabbit hole. But since we're on it real quickly, and then I'll let you dive into what you got on your plate. What has been some of the kind of coolest things so far? You have been doing the show for a while. Like, do you have any favorite moments? I shouldn't say favorite, but guess that stand out, because I don't want to, leave anyone out of that mix.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, this whole thing actually has been just like such a fun experience. I feel so incredibly blessed just in general for all of this, but man, my favorite couple of moments. I think having my best friends on the show is definitely fun.
The two turn Thursday.
Yeah. Yes. Or like just some of my shows, just Emma Spence, who is the host of Beyond the Routine before me. She is one of my best friends as well. So like just having her on the show and being able to hear about her experience with gymnastics has been really eye-opening, just with like the similarities in how we think and like what we've experienced. It really makes me feel seen. Man, Maddie Unger, she is a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. She was on the show too. That was an incredible episode. Good catch up too. It's always like a good excuse to, I think, like catch up with my friends.
Yeah, you've had some pretty good timing with some of your guests, because you also had Miss USA.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, which that was crazy.
Unreal timing to have her on.
That was actually, that might have been a peak, because I just, first of all, so thankful that she could make time in her schedule for that in general. And then a few weeks later, like less than a couple of weeks later, she won Miss USA. That was insane. Shout out Audrey Eckert. Like, how incredible. She just approached it with such poise, and just hearing even about how she was feeling behind the scenes, her telling me about her thoughts, what she's excited for, what she's afraid about, in a one-on-one conversation. It was just so cool to see her kind of just demolish any argument that like set itself up against herself and against her self-confidence. That was really cool.
Yeah, you think of people like that, it's like, oh, you're just confident 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And then you realize that there's all that work effort that has to go into it. And she was awesome. The timing of that show couldn't have been any better. And I don't know what it looks like, if there's odds for like Miss USA or what that is, but I know it's an incredibly tough thing to pull off. So the fact that we had her, on our small little local radio station, it's cool. I mean, the amount of guests we get in here, then obviously Emma Spence, she just brought in Nuri, and then you yourself being Miss USA along with a bunch of other guests. It's always incredible who we are able to pull in here.
And it was, again, the timing was just incredible, insane. And I'm just so thankful for that. It's also just been such a good excuse to catch up with my friends. I feel like, like I hadn't seen Maddie or Audrey in forever. And I mean, of course, because they're so busy out and about. Maddie's in Texas. Even like Spence and I don't get to see each other as much as I would like during the day.
Yeah, so, full adults now.
Yeah, just being able to catch up, it's been awesome. And then you're like, oh, it's on air too. But man, yeah, one of the things I'm also looking forward to is actually next week's show. I think I told you this.
Yeah.
Garth Glissman, the associate commissioner of the SEC, is going to be on this show, and I'm so excited. He graduated from Nebraska Law. So just hearing a little bit about that, how he transitioned from Nebraska Law to working for the NBA, and then now, of course, working with the SEC. Like I'm pumped to hear all about that and just hear about his life and how he transitioned from college sports to achieving such a big position.
Yeah, I don't know how you get some of the guests you pull off here, but I know that's one. I was talking to Nick Sainer. Nick Sainer knows him a little bit, and he's like super pumped. And he was wondering, he's like, how did she pull that off? And I'm like, I'm not gonna make her give away her secrets, but I think it's been really cool, the connections that you guys are able to pull off, and it helps that you're so close to the university.
Totally,
they have those connections. I know that's been DP's goal forever. Is there's a local topic every single day, so let's keep it off national, and then you get. Glissman, the associate SEC director, that's going to be hopping on 93.7 The Ticket.
Man, I'm just so excited. And I think that just also puts it into perspective, like how blessed I am to be able to have this opportunity to speak on the show, because it has given me some amazing connections and also pushed me out of my comfort zone a little bit to be able to reach out to people and just get some conversations going. Like, even just with Garth, I wanted to talk to him a little bit about sports law as well, and just hear a little bit about that and how to get into that and what he thinks about it. Because he actually had a radio show too when he was in law school, I believe, as well.
No way.
So yeah, the parallels were just crazy. I'm really pumped for that episode.
Was it like a law radio show, sports radio?
I'm pretty sure it's sports radio, because I think this was while he was maybe after he was done playing basketball.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was sports radio, and we were just chatting a little bit about it. And I was like, so how did you approach that with employers? How did that work? It was just interesting because I was hearing his story, and my jaw was to the floor. I was like, wow.
I think
this is very similar.
It's pretty incredible. So that one next week, right?
Yes, that's next week, the 29th at 7 p.m.
Yeah, definitely want to tune in for that one, and we'll definitely put out some promotional stuff as well, because that's a big time get. And I know Glissman, every time he's on, I want to say he's been on with Sainert before. I could be wrong, but I've heard him on several other media outlets. He's fantastic.
I'm really excited, and it just has been interesting to like hear his story.
Mhm.
He just has such a cool story. I feel like a lot of us sometimes think, oh, I'm from Nebraska. I'm just like a whatever. I can't do this, and it just puts into perspective what you can do when you put in some good effort and really sell yourself, I think.
Yeah. What's been the most surprising thing doing this show so far? Like things that you discovered about yourself?
I think just like how therapeutic it is to talk on air.
Yes.
The first one, the first show, I was so nervous. I mean, Spence and I talked about it, but like you could just tell your first show, you were just so nervous. Your voice is a little cracky. And
and it can be something everything about. I'll never forget.
Yes.
DP set me up with a layup because I was super big into the NBA and I hadn't talked on air yet. And DP, this was at the old studio, and it's where we had that mic in the separate room. And he's like, "Let's bring Harrison. What does he think about the games?"
Oh my gosh!
I just forgot. Even like the basic team names, players' names, and I stuttered, lost all my air in a matter of 10 seconds.
That is so funny.
So it takes a long time. So that's why I always, give people time to adjust into it, because it is a little bit nerve wracking at first.
Yeah.
You feel like the entire world's listening.
Yes, and even if it's my mom and my grandma, like I just felt so nervous.
Yeah.
And man, the intros and outros, I'm still struggling with that. So apologies, guys, if those are awkward. But yeah, no, the first one was definitely scary, and I'm just an awkward person sometimes. So we're working through it.
Was that always the case? Because I mean, you did dance and cheer. Those seems like things that you're very extroverted that you wouldn't think an introvert would get into.
Yeah, no, I feel like I'm totally extroverted. I feel like that's pretty obvious, but I'm an awkward extrovert, I think sometimes,
Describe what an awkward extrovert would look like?
I don't know. Like I just, I have my own, oh gosh, all of my family and friends are going to be like, yeah, this tracks, but
we can always get Emma Spence who's back there to confirm.
Don't pull her in here because she would have stories. I don't know. Okay, well, I feel like this is a long story short. Actually, I was homeschooled when I was younger, so I feel like props to everybody who homeschools their kid. I think that's incredible. I probably want to do it for my own kids, but I think it had some social awareness that was lost at that time. And not that I'm not socially aware anymore, but I just think sometimes I have my own sense of humor.
Yeah.
And people don't always get it. And like my friends that are very close, I think do get it, or they just say like, "Oh, you speak Ashlee." Like, my goodness. Denny Jackson the other day, she was like, "Oh, like Ashlee, what are you trying to say?" And I couldn't remember this word for some odd reason. And I just kept like explaining it in such a roundabout way. And she goes, "Does anyone speak Ashlee? Like, does anybody know what she's trying to say?" And so I feel like that just perfectly describes it. I think I just speak another language.
You picked up your own terminology along the way?
Yeah, I think so. I don't really know. Hi, DP. I don't know if he can hear this, but
yeah, the TVs are on back there. Shout out DP, the boss man, hanging around big weeknights. And it's really cool. I mean, again, I don't say this just because he's my boss, but it is, what 93.7 The Ticket has become is awesome. And then it allows for you, former student athletes, like having Nuri show back up after, obviously he was a Husker, and then he has a little bit of time with the Saints on that rookie camp, and now he's going to the CFL, and he's on his second team down there. Crazy. And then you get to see him come back a few years later and give an update on his life. And then you still hear the passion he has for Nebraska, especially with Nebraska football. I know some people aren't super positive. It's nice to have a guy like Nuri come here and talk about how awesome his time was here, and how much he still appreciates the city.
Yeah, it's so special. And I feel like that's just one thing that stands out about Nebraska is like, I don't think I know anyone who really leaves the program with ill will for it. Everybody just always reveres it so much, I feel like. And it's not just because of the program, it's also because of like the community built around it.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I would say the community is probably the biggest reason why people are so like grateful for their time at Nebraska, because like I just remember like the fans were always so positive, but also you just felt like you had a family. It didn't even feel like you were interacting with fans, when you were talking to the little girls, like when I was signing things for cheer, you felt like you were talking with family. So that was always really special.
Yeah, it's the one thing where I don't think I'll I'll knock on wood. As of now, I don't ever have plans to leave Lincoln because I
Right?
grew up small town Hartington. I think you were a small town growing up as well.
San Antonio.
No, not even close. But either way, small town Hartington is like, man, everyone's so nice. Everyone knows
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
And then I got to Lincoln, and me thinking Lincoln's a big city because the town I grew up
So
on was
scary.
1600. Roundabouts weren't a thing. One ways weren't a thing. It was just gravel roads. And then you get down here, and it's the same thing. Like everyone's just as
Yes.
nice, and everyone's still looking out for
Yes.
each other.
And that was so nice moving here. Even like the transition from Omaha to Lincoln, I feel like it was just so nice, like being able to kind of feel that small town vibe with a bigger city, I guess you could say. I mean, Lincoln's not huge, but
Do you get that? Did you get that same feeling in Omaha?
no, like
Yeah, I don't
not
really.
really.
And not that Omaha's great for its own
Yeah,
things, but
yeah.
me personally, I'd much rather live in Lincoln because I just feel like the community aspect's a lot
Yeah.
better.
I feel like Omaha's like more fast paced.
Yeah.
Just because I went to college there for a couple of years too, like just the experience there, I just felt like, it was a little more fast paced. I feel like here, I don't know, but maybe it's because here I can't go to the grocery store without running into someone. Maybe that's why. I'm really not sure, but
Yeah, it's a small world. Shout out to 3195. He says, shout out to Hartington. He's from Newcastle. And we would go see those guys all the time. Actually, I had
let's
some
go.
people that transfer over. Maybe that's why Lincoln is such a great city.
Was there a rivalry between you two?
No, not at all.
Oh.
It was us and Crofton for a while, but I think you get a ton of small town people that
You
end
do.
up in Lincoln.
And I think that like just contributes to the good energy, I guess you
Yeah.
could say, because I feel like small town people, especially if you're from a small town and like my Wahooians, my Wahoo people, I just feel like they like have so much gratitude for everything around them, because everything's a little new. And even once they like dive back into the normal Lincoln life, I feel like they just have a different perspective that
I think
maybe
there's
not
just a
everybody
lot
has.
of hope for humanity.
True.
Because I think in small towns, like everything's kind of sunflowers and rainbows. Like you
True.
don't have a lot of big time drama, and there's nothing, super chaotic. Like occasionally one person will get arrested for a DUI, and that's like breaking news.
Yeah.
But you're still kind of untouched by, a lot of the chaos and the
Yeah.
things that make you anxious.
I like that.
So then you just got a brighter outlook. And I could be wrong. That's me, maybe just being incredibly biased because I'm from a small town.
Right.
But I wonder if that's where it comes from.
I feel like it is. I don't know. I could see it, but I also try to purposefully blind myself from some bad things sometimes. So I feel like even though I'm not from a small town, I might relate a little bit.
Do you miss some of like the San Antonio, like the upbeat lifestyle? Definitely the weather's better, but
oh my gosh, I went down there for Christmas break. So I was there, goodness, like end of December, and it was so beautiful. The weather was just such a plus. Like I I love going back home to Texas because everybody's wearing coats and pants and sweatshirts, and I'm like, ooh, it's shorts and sweatshirt weather, like I'm having the time of my life. Like you'll catch me in a bikini in the backyard, like whatever. But everybody else is like freaking out because it's cold and they don't know how to start their car. They don't have
like at what point do they start bringing out the winter coats?
We're
talking 40, 30?
Oh my gosh,
makes
no,
sense.
it was like 60.
Oh.
And my dad was wearing a coat. And I was like, what are you doing? It does get a little colder there at night, but like 60s are my jam. I was having the best time there. But I do miss the weather for sure. In contrast, I really do. I just love like the Omaha Lincoln vibes. I think also because my mom's side of the family is up here, so I really enjoy being near my family. Even in times like with law school, even though I can't visit as much, it's still nice being around family. But I do miss, I don't know, I feel like Texas and Nebraska are actually very similar in the like hominess. I feel like both of them are very homey in their own way. I miss things that were like authentically Texas, like barbecue. I really miss barbecue and like tacos and even like the fresh, this is all food related. I just realized that.
Midwest, but that's the one place you could say we're lacking.
Yes.
Is the food.
Yes,
I love
really miss the
Brunza. I
food.
love some of these other places, but I don't know what our staple necessarily is.
Yes. And I like miss like fresh tortillas and authentic enchiladas and all this like random stuff, but I just really miss that. And like my best friends like Tia would cook us up some tamales. And like it's just like a different type of homie, like Midwest homie and Southern home are
I guess you get the ma'am, sir. You're very respectful terminology, language, which I do like.
This is actually really funny. I still haven't fully broken out of that. And sometimes when I get really intimidated, I will say ma'am or sir. And sometimes, I guess I didn't realize this, but in Nebraska, some people will say it like sarcastically, and it's meant to be kind of like insulting. This is really funny. I doubt she's listening, but I got tutored for the LSAT to get into law school. And I remember one time my tutor, she was awesome, but she was very like, Ashlee, I know you well, and I know you can do better. She was like, she was hard on me, but like not in a bad way, you know?
Wanted better for
Yes.
you. She saw.
Yes, for sure. I remember one day she was lecturing me, and I just was like, I punched in the gut. Like, I was like, oh, I totally like did do that. Like, I was not trying my hardest or whatever. And I remember I said, yes, ma'am. And she stopped and she goes, ma'am? And I was like, yes. And
Oh,
she was
really?
like, were you trying to be rude? And I was like, no, why?
How'd you say it?
Oh, I was like, yes, ma'am. Like, yes, ma'am. Like,
that confuses me.
and she was like, I genuinely can't tell it's this conversation. Like, I've had, well, because she told me she was like, I've had people like genuinely like say it sarcastically, and just because she was a teacher before too. And so maybe that's why.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. Like,
But
yes, ma'am. Like,
I
the
was
kinda
so
groaning
taken
say it.
aback. I've actually had coaches say it to me too. Like when I was younger, I remember when I first moved from Texas, like I'd say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. And coaches would be like, don't say that. I was like, what? Like, this is like, I got a spanking if I didn't say yes, ma'am, or yes, sir to my teachers, to any authority, to anyone.
I feel like that's the more respectful route.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just so unusual. And I don't know if that was just like sports culture in Nebraska or what, but like I got told quite a few times, like till I was probably 16. Like I probably really cut that habit when I was 16, but
Maybe it's a good thing I don't do that a lot.
I
I've
don't
never ran
know.
into that where that's
Yeah, I
seen
mean,
as disrespectful.
I think too, I don't think like my coaches thought it was disrespectful. I think it was more of a like formality thing. Like they were like, that's too formal. You know, I feel like a lot of
okay.
coaches like would rather just be called coach.
I know some young guys, if you call them sir, they look in
Yeah.
the mirror and they're like, how
Man,
old am
but
I?
I think they were like 20. I think we were like 27, but I was like 12. Like, I
So
don't
maybe
know.
that's what it is, like an age
Everybody
thing.
was a sir. Yeah. But that I never got told not to call them yes, ma'am, or yes, sir until I moved here. And I was like, that is crazy. Like, I would want to be told yes, ma'am if I was coaching a kid, but that's just me. I don't know.
That's a wildly culturally different.
It is.
The one thing, do you do the finger wave when you
Yeah.
get back to San Antonio now?
What?
The finger wave?
Like this?
Yeah, when you're driving and you just one finger on the steering
Oh,
wheel.
I do that with the Jeep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do it with Jeep.
Is that not a Nebraska or a Midwest thing only? Or do you guys always did that in Texas?
You know, I didn't really get many finger waves. Like with the car, I feel like we get like a lot of nods. I feel like the big Nebraska thing that I've noticed is like the wave. Like you cut somebody off, they wave. They're like, sorry.
Oh, yeah. I guess I'll do
They
that.
don't do that in Texas.
If
They
I
just
mess
honk.
up, I'll try to like lock eyes on
Oh,
my
I do
rear view
too.
mirror. And I'll hit him with this, like, sorry or thank you for letting
Or
me merge
thumbs
in.
up.
Yeah.
The
like,
thumbs up is like the ultimate like peace sign. Like, please don't
that's on me.
hit my car.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh man, yeah. But there's like a lot of like cultural differences, I guess, with that kind of stuff, but they're all very similar. Like it's not like West Coast, you know, attitude.
Mhm.
It's still very respectful. It's just like in different ways.
I guess there's enough space.
Yeah, for sure.
You get to like super populated areas, people start looking at other people as a nuisance. And
yeah.
you get to more open areas, you don't look at them that way.
I know. And that's been interesting too, is like kind of reading the room when I travel. That's been a hard thing because I feel like both of those situations, Texas and the Midwest, but specifically like I was raised on very Southern, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, biscuits and gravy and Lutheran church and Lutheran school. You know, like that's what I was raised on. So that was very like traditional and so very friendly. And so like even going to places like I went to New York last year for the bowl game.
Okay.
That was super fun. And I got so many death stares for like even saying like, excuse me, like just because people just don't want to be talked to.
Yeah, New York, I only went there once.
Whew.
I probably did it wrong. Like I need to go back, but it was miserable.
I think it's totally dependent on where you go. If you're around tourists, like
I was in Times Square.
get out. I
Yeah.
know Times Square was the worst thing for me. But then when I went to like the Upper East Side and like actually like I like pretended I was like living there and like walking around these cute
I think you
neighborhoods.
have to do that. Yeah.
Once you pretend you're a local, like you feel a lot better. I feel like
People stop trying to shove
seriously,
crappy CDs in your face, trying to tell you to buy it.
And the homeless men stop chasing you, you know?
Yeah. I got to give it another shot. It was also, I think, when I went there, it was like 110 degrees. And imagine what, is it Times Square? Yeah, Times Square smells like.
Oh,
in New
garbage,
York.
hot garbage.
Yeah, when it's 110 degrees and
Even
it's
when
packed
it's cold.
with people, it smells horrible.
Horrible. Well, on that note, we are going to our first break. Thank you guys for listening to Above the Noise.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines. Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first. Now is the time to get a glimpse into living and learning at Doane University through a personalized in-person or virtual visit. We know once you experience Doane, you'll see why it's a place where you can achieve your goals and shape your future. Schedule your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SartorHeyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
A career providing care that matters, great wages and state benefits, a team devoted to serving Nebraska's veterans and their families. That's what you'll find at the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. With openings in nursing, food service, administration, and more, our veterans homes in Bellevue, Kearney, Norfolk, and Scotts Bluff have a role for you. Find your new career at veterans.nebraska.gov/employment. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
From Chromebooks to whiteboards, today's classrooms are blending tradition with technology. Hi, I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Learning is evolving, and public schools are helping students succeed in a digital world. Stay engaged, stay curious, and support your child's learning both online and off. Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If your home isn't delivering the year-round comfort you expect, call the experts at Bryant. Need service? Call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to get stronger just around the corner, so you can give everything you've got. Whether you want to crush a few reps before class with our expanded strength equipment or sweat it out on your way home from work. With over 2,800 locations, there's a Planet Fitness close to you, and most are open 24 hours. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 30th. Are you coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Back to Above the Noise on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Ashlee Mitchell.
Hello. Welcome back. You are listening to Above the Noise with Ashlee Mitchell. I'm your host, Ashlee Mitchell. And yeah, Harris and I were just kind of like shooting stuff around, just talking about law school during this break, catching up a little bit. Harrison,
Yeah, a lot
you got
more
any questions?
niches to it than I realized. I'll just ask you this. Which way are you leaning right now? Because we're talking about it off air. There's lawyers and there's all sorts of niches when it comes to marriage, business. What'd you say? Constitutional?
Yeah.
Contract?
Constitutional
Yeah.
law.
I didn't realize there's how many categories it breaks down into. So where are you currently at with that? Are you leaning in one direction or are you just trying to just get through school right now?
That's such a good question. First, I'm trying to get through school.
Fair enough.
But man, actually, now that you bring up all the different types of law, I feel like my answer might slightly change, not fully from our conversation off air, but I am predominantly leaning towards business law, corporate law. I really am interested in like mergers and acquisitions, stuff like that, corporate governance, just things that have to do with corporations, how they run, how maybe they're passed down between family members, stuff like that. I think that is just the bee's knees. Very interesting. I also am kind of interested in wills and estates. We actually just started talking about that. I just think that would be a really good option too, because I am a softie at heart and I feel like I would feel like I'm doing good for some people. You know, you'd feel like you have a true direct impact rather than just working for businesses. But
with the wills?
Yes. But I also feel like that could get heavy, you know, and I think any type of law could get heavy when you think about it too much. But
Yeah, and that one I'd worry about, like, you know, sorry, Johnny, your sister Bethany got the house and you got nothing.
yeah, see that's tricky too, because there are family matters get messy in the law. We were in my contracts class. Actually, I think Katie and I were telling you a little bit about it. There were like so many different cases of like uncles who promised kids these things, and when they break their promise on on giving their kid money for forbearing certain rights, like drinking alcohol, like basically family matters just get messy because you're like, was that a gift? Was that a promise? Was that an actual contract that you made? So crazy. But I don't know. I don't think I want to do criminal law. I interned at the jail, actually. I don't know if I told you that.
No, what was that like?
My undergrad, I interned at the jail. It was actually really fun.
The one right here in Lincoln on the south side of town?
Yeah, it was really fun. Shout out to them. But jail bread's actually really good. They make their own bread. It's pretty bomb. Super random. But through that time, I found I just like don't think I would be made for that. I just don't want to necessarily, I'm trying to pick careful words here. I think that would be too heavy on me. And there's a lot of things that can come up that you might not know. So people do lie, you know, and that would just really be hard to be preparing a whole court case for someone. And then even going through those feelings of betrayal, stuff like that. Like you have to really navigate those conversations and your own feelings really well. And I think that would be very hard.
Do they make you guys do like psychology classes at all? So when you're talking to individuals, like you understand their mindset and the possibility of, you know, what they're telling you, how much of it is legit true based on their reactions?
So not psychology classes. Actually, there is a really cool, I think it's like dual like JD program where you can get your JD from law school, but you also can get a psychology degree, I believe, as well. Some people do that. I think that's really smart, but also depending on what kind of law you want to go into. So like corporate law, probably don't need that. But we do have like classes on, you know, like the legal rules of how to be professional and professionalism and stuff like that. And I think they probably like address that kind of stuff. I'm not in those classes yet.
I was just curious because I don't know, those on YouTube. Do you ever watch those like police interrogation videos?
Yeah.
I watched those and it's so fascinating.
Isn't it?
Like they have all the little details, and if the guy they're interrogating is like leaning over, they'll match them leaning over to like try to build
the
this
body language.
Yeah, the subconscious. And it's always like just incredibly fascinating. And I wondered, like, as a lawyer, would that come into your repertoire? But it sounds like there's a couple avenues where you may need it or you may not.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like a lot of people did criminal justice as their undergrad, and that was like probably one of the big things where you like learn those kind of things. But Yeah, even interacting, I feel like with people at the jail when I was interning, I feel like I can see that. People really do pick up on like you. So if you are acting nervous, especially with people at least at the jail, like they'll pick up on that and they will
Make life
stand over
hard.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to really like make sure to like, I guess not assert dominance, but
Be cool and collected.
yeah, be cool.
Act
and
like you've been there and you're not worried about it.
Yeah.
Probably the best way. Shout out to our unknown texter, 3195. He says, shout out to the jail. I work there. Maybe you ran into him while you're interning down there.
That's awesome. Actually, this is so funny. When I was cheering, one of the, oh my goodness, what are they called? One of the heads. I saw him and his son while I was cheering my last year. And so I got to take a picture with the son. I was like, I know your dad. He's super cool. And that was just a really special moment too.
Yeah. And you probably got like so many of those connections from doing that. Now that you're so deep into like law school, is that the correct term?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever like end up reminiscing still, or is everything still new and fresh with law school that you're not sitting in your room like reminiscing about the days of being in cheer?
Oh man, I'm in kind of like an interesting space, I feel like, with that. That's a really good question because I haven't thought too hard on that myself. I feel like law school is still like still new and interesting to a point.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely like so hard that it almost sweeps my mind away from everything else, I would
Yeah.
say. I am definitely like very conscious of law school at all times, which is something I'm really working on. Like when those textbooks are closed, I'm trying to close them, I'm trying to hang up and hang out and focus on my life. But I do really miss cheer. I think I miss the people and the interactions like more than the sport itself. I feel like every person's life, like you get to a point where you're ready to part ways with your sport, but the people and the interactions that I had with cheer, like even interactions with fans, they were just so meaningful. And they always taught me good lessons. Like they really taught me more about myself and how I want to interact with people based off of good interactions I had with others, based on just different people.
Well,
I miss
especially
it.
when the kids are
Oh.
fired up to see you.
My goodness. And my favorite part actually is when like the little boys would see the boy cheerleaders.
Mhm.
Like that was just so special because I just remember like we always would be split up into pairs for like our different meet and greet things. And a lot of the times it'd be like a couple girls, a boy, because there were less boys than girls on the team. And when little boys would see male cheerleaders, they would be like, I didn't even know like this was possible. And then they would like, I remember just seeing kids like run up to their mom and just say, Mom, I want to do that. I want to do that. And getting to hold the megaphone and yell, Go Big Red. Like that just was one of the best memories, I think, is just seeing.
Well, I think you had a couple of male cheerleaders on.
Yeah, I did.
And
I
it was a
did.
great, what were their names again?
Alex and Amani.
Thank you.
Shout
Alex and
out.
Amani. Yeah, those guys were great. And, they did a good job of, I think some people have the preconceived stereotype whenever
Totally.
they get and that's why it's great for the kids to see it. But it's like, yeah, just a couple of dudes that look strong. And then some girls
Yeah.
like, you guys look like you could do this. You guys interested? You get to go to all these games.
Yeah.
They get on scholarship for that as well.
So this is actually really interesting too. The whole cheer thing, I think Cheer and Scarlets is pretty unknown to fans. We technically get a scholarship. It is $600 a semester, I think. So like
Okay.
not very much, but also like enough that we're grateful. And it's more for the experience, I think.
The perks
Yeah.
and the connections,
Yeah. The
relationships.
experience and like truly, I mean, cheer isn't really like making money, you
Right.
know, like they have no way of like collecting that income. So it makes sense. And also it's weird. They're not, and this could have changed. Don't count me on it. But when I was on the team, they were a part of athletics and marketing. So they were like half athletics, half marketing. All of their funds, I believe, come from whatever they fundraise during appearances. So like
Okay.
what we were talking about, like
I guess that makes sense why
when you see
they're
the kids.
connected with marketing then.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because like
You're
mascots,
marketing
cheer,
the University
marketing.
of Nebraska.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
cheer and all
Yeah.
that.
So it's like always just interesting because people don't fully understand that. And since it's not an NCAA sanctioned sport, there are also different rules with that as well. And like different ways they're monitored as well, I believe, which is so interesting. I would love to get into the legal side of that. I actually think I'm going to like do a research paper on that because I mean, man, like just like how is that stuff monitored? Like not just for Nebraska. This is like kind of off topic, but like, when there's a sport and there are athletes, but it's not technically a sport. Now all this stuff for NIL, and even like recruitment, it's all out the door unless the school tells you otherwise, right?
I think so.
So like, isn't that interesting? Like, there's
It's
every school has a cheer team. At least every D1 school has a cheer team.
Uh-huh.
Every single cheer team is not sanctioned as a sport. And if it was, that would cause a lot of complications. That is to be explained
They
later.
just put them in clubs as a way to avoid it. But then the clubs are
But
showing
then
up.
clubs still don't have those rules on recruitment
Right.
and stuff like that, So like who's monitoring this stuff? Who's watching it? Who's making sure it's appropriate? Stuff like that. I think that would be such an interesting topic.
Well, you know the two sides of it pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think I'm pretty lucky because I have had good coaches, but also like not everybody, has been lucky enough to not run into situations like that. So I just always wonder like what is the behind the scenes of that for schools? Because when you have hundreds of D1 schools with no rules, I guess, on that stuff, how does it work? How does NIL work? I don't know. Like,
I still don't. I could not tell you how NIL works. Every time I think I know that you got guys that were playing in the NBA that are now coming back to play on college basketball teams.
Yeah. Oh
which
my
is
gosh,
crazy.
isn't that nuts?
Yeah,
because they're making more money.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Wild.
You go make Dante Mort coming back. Given,
That's so
I
crazy.
guess I just, I think you get to 25 years old. I'm sorry. Like I'd make it simple.
Yes.
You got to move on.
You're seeing gray hair at this point in college basketball and college football. And I'm like, guys, close the yearbook.
Yeah, I mean, but someone's like, "Hey, I'll give you $5 million if you come back."
True.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll come back
Heck yeah.
with the gray hair. I'll come back at 35.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're going to give me that much money.
I
We
don't
got a little
care.
bit of time here left. I want to ask you, because again, I clearly got an interest in law. Where did that come from? Because I know when people want to be lawyers. When I was younger, I was like, because it's a position of power
Yeah.
and money,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're just like, if I do that, I clearly succeeded at life. But then you get older, and it might not fit your interest, and then you change avenues. Why does that seem like a thing that you really want to do, and that you're still interested in it?
Yeah. Actually, I feel like my story, it's cookie cutter at first, but then I feel like it gets unique. I feel like a lot of people, a lot of doctors want to become doctors because their parents got sick or something, like
Yep.
someone close. So when I was younger, actually, my parents got a divorce, and it was really hard on my family and my mom specifically. She was a stay-at-home mom before. That's why I was homeschooled. And my interactions with her divorce lawyer actually were just so meaningful, and like especially as like a young girl, and like hearing these interactions between my family and not really understanding them, but then having like even though he wasn't neutral, it felt like a neutral party explaining these things to me and like explaining the legality of these concepts to me in a way that a child would understand, and wouldn't be hurt by, was so important. And after that, actually, like when I was like 8 years old, I said, I want to become a lawyer. I want to do this for kids. I want to be that neutral standpoint for kids. I ended up mentoring a young girl in Boys Town, stuff like that. Like I was really set on this track of family law. And then after mentoring and helping out a little bit, I think I realized that maybe wouldn't be the most fruitful path for me, just because I think that would hurt my heart more than help. And I think I can help in other ways, whether volunteering or doing pro bono work. But ever since then, I had a spark for like the law. Like when I was 8 years old, I remember, and actually this was so sweet hearing at my grad party last year when I found out I got accepted to law school. My family like would remind me that when I was 8 years old, I had this whole list, like a written list, and it was like, I'm going to be a lawyer, and then I'm going to become the governor, and then I'm going to become, and like all these, like, I'm pretty sure it was like literally every position in the US government, like I had at one point in my life. And I decided, like, as soon as I turned 25 or whatever that age is, that you can apply for this stuff, I like had it mapped out. And I like would tell my family, like, they'd be like, "What, Ashlee, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And this like 8-year-old, this like dorky 8-year-old with glasses would like give you this whole list, like this, and this by
So
35.
what was the mountain on top at the time?
President. I was like, I'm going to be the first female president. Now I'm in constitutional law, and I don't think I want to deal with that.
No, I think the president's one of those jobs. The younger you are, it looks like one of the best jobs ever. And then the older you get, you're like,
oh my gosh.
you almost you got to be, crazy to
I
want
feel
that
bad.
job.
Yeah.
It's such a stressful
And you
gig.
see how it ages them with the 4 years.
Oh,
my gosh.
Yeah, it's not even political. I mean, left to right. Go look at anybody who's ever been in office
Yeah.
and go check them out 4 years after the term.
Yeah, crazy.
That is a stressful gig.
Yeah. So like I just remember that and just like knowing that that's always what I've wanted to do was so sweet. So, and now that I'm doing it, and now I'm doing it somewhere that I love,
Yeah.
like just being able to go from Nebraska cheer to like Nebraska law, it just felt really special.
Did it ever waver growing up? Like, was there any point where really?
No, I'm like,
That's a rarity.
I think, yeah. And I think that's like kind of maybe the most psycho part of it. I don't know any other word. Like, I never thought twice. Now I would love to own a boutique. I think I might do that as a side gig. That's super random, but like,
Well, if you're a lawyer, you can just manage it.
Yeah, I have-
hire good staff, and then you can just run it on the
Exactly.
side.
and I mean, I think I'm the type of person who can never be bored, and that's a good and bad thing at the same time. But I think that just gives me opportunity to do things like that. But we are headed to our next break. Thank you guys again for listening, and tune back in a couple of minutes.
Don't wait. The clock is ticking at Landmark Implement's annual inventory reduction sale. For a limited time, get special financing as low as 1.9% for 12 months, then 6.2% interest for 48 months on select equipment. No auction, no waiting, just inventory price to move. Once it's gone, it's gone. Visit Landmark Implement or shop online at landmarkimp.com. Then click on the featured used equipment and experience the Landmark difference.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
This is Alexander Fern, the voice of the Lincoln Stars, telling you to join the Stars Saturday, January 24th at the Icebox for our annual Aubrey Brown Club night. The Stars are at home to take on the Omaha Lancers at 6 p.m. Proceeds from the night will go toward a great cause. The Aubrey Brown Club is a local foundation that helps parents through the tragedy of child loss. The Stars will be wearing special jerseys that will be auctioned off following the game. And don't miss a great night for a great cause at the Icebox, Saturday, January 24th. Tickets are available at lincolnstars.com. Proceeds from the night will be donated to the Aubrey Brown Club.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street, online at doubleeagle.golf. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting lincolnteammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
The 2026 Love Nebraska season is underway, and professional volleyball is back in a big way. From powerful serves to game-changing rallies, every match brings elite competition to the court. See some of the game's top athletes, including Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson, compete right here in Nebraska. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the sport, there's a match for you this season. Explore the full schedule and plan your night out at lovbneb.com/schedule.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with the bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G165184. 2,500 down with proof credit.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Back to Above the Noise on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Ashlee Mitchell.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We are at the last couple of minutes of Above the Noise. Guys, if you like this show, right now I'm not on social media, but y'all can still message me and message any guests you would like to see, any topics you would like to hear, and you can message me at the Ashlee Mitchell, the ASHLEEMITCHELL on Instagram, or even message the ticket. They'll get it back to me eventually. But yeah, I would love to hear suggestions from you guys.
Absolutely. And let's see. We only got a little bit of time here left. I'll just ask you this. Have you ran into anybody yet that's been like, I heard you on the radio or I watched your show before that you weren't expecting?
Okay, actually, this is crazy. Somebody from my church
asked That's how it happens.
Like, it always like actually makes my heart melt a little bit. Somebody from my church actually didn't ask me, but they were asking my boyfriend. They're like, wait, are you dating Ashlee? And he was like, yes. How do you know? Like, not how do you know her? Because I volunteer there, so I'm pretty well connected. But they were like, oh, I like listened to her show. I was like, no way, that's the coolest thing ever. So shout out.
Do you get like nervous when you hear that? Like, oh God, what show did you listen to? Or are you at a point now where you're just like happy that people are listening?
I kind of get nervous because I'm like, if it was the one that I was talking about, my Harry Potter obsession, I don't know if I need everybody to know about that, you know?
I forgot about that.
Some of them are like really, really, I think, thought-provoking. And some of them are like, what's your favorite cheese? And
but sometimes those are fun.
I think those are fun too. But again, that's like the little awkward, unhinged side of me that I'm like, not everybody sees. I'm like, I promise I'm in law school and I promise I'm a little thought provoking. But it feels very on brand. I feel like I'm very Legally Blonde. And if you haven't seen that movie, y'all need to watch it.
That's a great movie. Iconic.
It's a great movie, isn't it? I should wear pink more.
Well, what do you have planned? Obviously, I know it's January 22nd now, but 2026 in New York, like, was there anything that when you stepped into this new year that you really wanted to lock in, focus on more, or do you have like a certain expectation of where you want to be when we get to the end of this one?
That is my favorite question. I think we're actually going to have a like chat about this on another show, but my expectations for 2026, I feel like I just want to get more connected. I want to really hang up and hang out. I want to get off my phone, get off things that distract myself, get off those things that are quick dopamine hits, you know?
Screen time.
Yeah.
Like 80% of it in today's society.
Yes. And like things that are really distracting me from who I am and like enjoying the life that I've been given, you know? Like, I feel like so often I'm not able to enjoy the present because I'm so worried about things going on in the future. And that's not just because I'm nervous about things in the future. I think it's also because of the way I'm feeding my brain. And I don't think I allow it to just be present anymore. So I think just that, you know, getting more into exercise, getting more into deep thought, reading, stuff like that is really important. I am running a half marathon and I'm trying to get you to run one too.
You know, if you get me to run it, I'll get Tristan, I'll get Jay, I'll get the ticket producers run team.
Get DP. If we got DP to do
Yeah, Rebecca's gonna get mad at us if we go make DP run a half marathon. His body's been through it. I don't think his doctors would like us either.
No.
Unless, I mean, I don't know.
Hey,
I
we could all
don't-
walk. The ticket could walk. I would love to walk it.
It could
But
be fun if we make it a somewhat of a competition here at the ticket, and then people would maybe take it seriously so they don't get dead last.
so true. So true. I feel like just like I hate running personally. So like doing something you hate and like getting to get over that dislike. And even if I still hate it at the end of this, if I'm able to run a half marathon, even while I hate running, I'm going to be so stinking proud of myself.
Yeah.
Because like doing things, get out of your comfort zone, y'all. Do that tonight. Honestly, after you're done watching the show, listen to the next and the next and the next, but
There
get
you
out of
go.
your comfort zone.
Yeah,
while doing
when we
it.
get to midnight, then you guys can go home and do what you need to.
Exactly. Get out of your comfort zone today. That's like my mantra for the year is get out of your comfort zone. Be slow though, live slow, and enjoy the things you've been given by God.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. It's really sad when you start adding up the screen time.
Oh my gosh.
Because then you're like, what if I read a book, or what if I did this, or what if I did that?
I
And-
could have finished a whole book by the time that my screen time shows, or I'm even like, what was I distracted? I could have gotten either so fit, I could have done so well and so much better in school. If you add up all these hours, my goodness, somebody told me that most 18 to 22-year-olds actually their screen time right now is equaling a full-time job. That's 40 plus hours a week, y'all.
You got anything positive to end on? I
Sorry.
just hit the music at like the worst time. That's horrifying.
I know. And that's all. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, guys, live slow, do something hard, do some hard things this week. And I'm so proud of y'all. Keep living life. Have a good one. Bye-bye.